Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's time to check in with Agent 47. Torben here is lead online designer on Hitman.
Yes.
And you're about to launch 2 summer bonus missions, is
Yes,
that right?
this is the mid-season episode.
Yeah.
This is where your favorite TV series, they do something a little bit weird. Maybe it's a double feature, maybe it's a slightly quirky musical episode or something.
yeah.
So don't worry, we're not doing a musical, with
musical?
Hitman.
Okay.
What we're doing is an alien invasion in Sapienza of a film set, and the ability to go back to Marrakesh a year before the events of episode 3 and experience the place as this fantastic city to visit and these really interesting targets to kill.
So we're looking at Sapienza here first,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes. So this is a film set, right? The target is the actor director making a sci-fi superhero epic called The Icon. The problem is he's wildly over budget. And the studio has taken, I think, the only rational way out.
Yeah.
They've hired an assassin.
He's got to go.
Gotta go, gotta shut it down, right? Now, the fantastic thing about this is that it's so fresh and unexpected. You've got a giant robot chasing him through what is like the Act 3 fight scene in the movie that he's making, when the alien overlord has crashed into the city and he's going to go out and punch it in the face. Now, the fun thing about Dino Bosco is he's an old school kind of director.
Okay.
So he likes physical effects. He likes to do his own stunts.
Nice.
He likes pyrotechnics. And with Agent 47 on set, that's a bad idea.
He usually has to provide his own pyrotechnics. but no.
Exactly. And they've brought them in for him.
This is the alien here?
This is the giant robot chasing him. I think you could probably beef up that flamethrower a little bit.
Yeah.
And the alien overlord is in the back, and you can mess with his stunt jump and all kinds of stuff. So this is a full mission, right? This is new achievements, it's new challenges, it's a new mission in Sapienza in a very different way to the way players have experienced it before. But this is one of the 2 missions that we're doing.
Right.
The other one is in Marrakesh. I think we'll have some footage up about that in just a moment.
Yeah. So what are some of the different options and routes Agent 47 has available
Well,
to him?
I mean, I'd rather tell you the route that's not available.
Okay.
Because Dino Bosco, the guy who's doing the main character, we see him flying there. His suit is genuinely bulletproof. You're not shooting him.
Okay. Yeah. So you can't just take him out that way.
So this isn't just a mission, though. This is actually what you could call a new location. So players can create contracts in Sapienza film set. They can expect to play elusive targets and escalations and play new challenges and really have this available to them as an entirely new playground, a new version of Sapienza to do awesome stuff in.
Was that our actor director there just
Yes,
now?
it was,
Okay.
yes.
So he does take off his bulletproof costume at some point.
I probably shouldn't get into that.
All
So
right.
I don't want to spoil it.
We don't want to spoil anything.
No.
Yeah.
So this is one of the 2 missions that are in this. And really what we wanted to do at the mid-season was to take a step away from the storyline, because we've introduced some new sections of the Hitman world. We've introduced Providence. We've kind of set all the pieces in play and set them in motion.
Yeah.
And we're kind of taking a break from that and doing something that's more fun and playful and creative. Also showcasing what exactly we can do with our technology and the game as a service platform.
Yeah.
And when we're done with this, we will be continuing the season with episode 4. So sharp-eyed players spotted that we announced 6 locations and 7 episodes. This is the mythical 7th episode.
Okay. Nice. So it must have been fun to like sort of revisit this and like, how can we approach this from a different angle, something the player wouldn't expect?
Yes. But it's really interesting because we've been doing this kind of, this is Dino Bosco, by the way, we've been doing this kind of re-rigging of levels with elusive targets as well. So when the Cardinal visited Sapienza, we did something similar to this, just on a much smaller scale. So we went in and we set up new security patterns and gave him new security guards and locked down all the approaches that people would have used. And we have an elusive target live right now during E3, which is an exclusive party in a backstage area of Paris that's only there for the remaining 30 or so hours of E3.
Sure. So that was Sapienza. I think we're going to load up the other one, Marrakesh, here in just a moment. What can you tell us about this scenario?
What I really like about this is that it's kind of going the opposite way to Sapienza. So Sapienza was a place that we've now focused on an event. And Marrakesh in episode 3 was really tied into this imminent coup and the riots, right? So what we've done with it now is we're going in the other direction with it. It's more of a place. It's a tourist destination. It's evening. It's cooler. It's the Marrakesh that, I mean, I visited as a tourist, right? It's a genuinely pleasant place to visit and a very different kind of vibe to what we've seen so far with Marrakesh, which was very hot and tense. This is more cool and relaxed. And the mission here is actually a slightly more complex one than the one on Sapienza, as you have 2 targets and documents that you need to locate and steal. And this actually takes place in the storyline at least about a year before episode 3. So this is kind of setting some of the backstory for players to explore and discover.
So can you tell us more about who our target is this time out?
So we have 2 targets. It's a Chinese contractor and a guy who works for a construction company called Hamilton Lowe that players will have spotted when they've been playing the game and been listening to what's going on. So these are like some of the power brokers and organizations in our backstory. But they're working together to sell out their employers and hand over details of this deal that's going to be made to cheat Morocco out of billions of dollars. And Hamilton Lowe have hired Agent 47 to go in and shut the 2 conspirators down, get the documents, and send a fairly concrete message to their competitors that we don't play like this.
Right. So are we seeing here these little flashes and glimpses of characters? Are we seeing like possibilities for like...
What we're seeing here is really more about the changed theme. So the first one was about like super focusing in on the opportunities. This is more about showing the fact that this level is so much calmer, so much more open. We're seeing one of the 2 targets here. This is Tuao Quang, the account manager for a big Chinese construction company. And a little bit later, we're probably going to be seeing the other target, possibly. But as you can see, this is much more about showing the place in a very, very different kind of more relaxed, more inviting way.
Well, so when you were coming up with these scenarios, why did you choose these 2 locations? Or why did you think they would be good selections to revisit and sort of remix?
Because I really felt that we needed to, we felt that we needed to showcase what it was that we can do with this platform that we've got. So we've been showing that we can players can create like tiny missions on a level in contracts mode. And we can create escalations, which are these gameplay puzzles where we challenge you and up the ante step by step. We've been showing how we can create new setups with elusive targets, and this is showing really how far we can go with an existing level to put entirely new experiences into it. So it was about taking a level that people knew and then saying, look what we can do. Look how much fun we can have in this place. And also, for example, in Marrakesh, a lot of players were saying, oh, this big cafe in the middle, what's that for? There's only one opportunity there. This feels like wasted space. Well, no.
Yeah, it was going to be used
exactly.
At a little bit later date.
It was thought in for this, and there are also elusive targets that are going to use this.
Well, so you talk about you want to show what you can do with this platform. Hitman is an episodic game.
Yes.
If it had been a more traditional release, it was just on the disc and it was out the door, are you saying you wouldn't have been able to remix the levels in this sort of way?
I'm saying we probably wouldn't have known quite as well as we do now what makes sense. So classically, when we used to make AAA games, we designed as diligently as we could. We built the best games that we could, but it was ultimately ivory tower design, because it goes out the door and then people are playing it and it's like, okay, we didn't get that right, we need to fix this, and maybe we can't fix it, right?
Yeah, hopefully we'll have it fixed than our next release 2 or 3 years from now.
Exactly. Or we spot certain things that players love, let's do more of that. And in a few years, maybe it's completely different. But what we've got with the episodic format is we've got this season-long point of contact with our fans, where we can see what they're doing. So players played the first elusive target and said, this guy is too easy. So the third one had 37 bodyguards.
Yeah, so you're like, okay.
Right, let's kind of mix this up a little bit and see if we really mean this.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I've really been very intrigued by the route you've taken with the new Hitman, and it seems to be working.
Yes.
Torben, thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thank you for your time.
When is Chapter 4 out?
Chapter 4 is out. No, this isn't. So the summer bonus episode is what we're calling, because episode 4 is afterwards. The summer bonus episode is out on July 19th. All
right, cool. Look for it, July 19th. Stay tuned. More games to come here on day 2 of E3 2016 on IGN.